process home.
Wow.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
You held that note a long time. It's part 2 today on episode 956 of my 3-part chat that Hayley and I do with Craig Marshall.
That didn't quite come out right, I think.
Mike Matthews here from Podcastro Valley, Mont at Cafe Anyway. That's Hayley.
Hi.
Judging me.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's why I'm here.
Yes. You got a compliment, by the way. I'll tell you about it coming up soon.
What?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Sometimes I miss hopping in my car and driving up the coast to Santa Barbara, sitting down, drinking a mocha at a coffee bar while reading the Santa Barbara Independent and laughing at how they are. They're like half Berkeley, half overpaid beach bums.
Mike's Daily
Podcast.
Okay, that description makes no sense to anyone, but that's okay. You know,
Mike's
I get my Santa Barbara
Daily
fix by
Podcast.
watching Psych.
Yeah.
Even though that was filmed in Canada. That's so weird.
Was it?
Ventura and Santa Barbara will always be my faraway homes that I will never live in again. For I'm Bay Area bound. No, literally, I'm bound. I'm bound to Castro Valley and Fremont. They've tied me up.
Yeah.
It's all crazy California. Yeah, they filmed it in Canada.
I've only seen a couple episodes of Psych. I did enjoy it, though.
Yeah, there's some funny lines, little inside jokes. It's humorous. And it's gone. But you can watch all of them on Netflix.
Yay.
You got a compliment.
What?
I was at the dog park. I saw Katie again, who we had on the show. And you've never talked to her or anything, but she said she listened to the podcast that she was on, and she laughed at you. Like, Hayley was funny.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, and Hayley's smart. Hayley knows a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, Hayley does. So you got a big compliment. She really enjoyed you and our interaction.
Wow, well, thank you.
She's like, I like how you yell at him. Not like that you needed. She felt bad that I was yelling at you, but you know, she liked that kind of me getting upset, like, why is Mike so agitated type thing. But you know what? I heard a study that said that people are more okay listening to men getting angry than women getting angry. They did a study in Silicon Valley, and they found that, like, when a guy was talking from, I think it was actually having to do with like a jury, and when he was giving the reason why he thought the person was guilty and getting all upset, they would change their minds. But when the woman did it, nobody changed their minds. So I don't know what that is.
It's because when women show emotions, it's indicated as like a sign of weakness.
That's kind of like what they figured out. Yeah,
it's what it is.
Wow.
It's kind of screwed up.
That's so sexist.
I know.
Makes me so angry.
And furthermore, if if you're a guy and you show any like weak emotions, people are like, "Oh, you're a freaking pansy," and that originated from when women show those emotions. It's still a sign of weakness. It's still like, oh, look at that stupid woman who's crying. Why are they crying? Oh, cry more. What are you, in middle school?
Right, so people just have issues with those emotions.
Basically, people hate women.
That's not right. You know what? And another thing is men, we steal the words and the societal, cultural, verbal, the novelties that women come up with, the new stuff, like, right, and you know, all those little things we use, those little ticks, and like I say like a lot. I've noticed. I'm like, I shouldn't.
Yeah, remember like 10 years ago when everyone was making fun of the Valley Girls?
Yeah.
Right? Like totally, like
And now guys are talking like that.
Yeah.
They stole it. I stole it from you, women. You know what? I need to stop saying like as much, because I was complaining about the guy Phone Boy Speaks who uses a lot of filler words, like right and again, and I say like a lot.
Yeah, me too.
But maybe that's because I'm likable.
Did I tell you the story about when I was in middle school?
No, you never told me the story.
Okay, I was in
you were in a middle school. Was that in Middle Earth? Where there are all kinds of hobbits?
I was short at the time.
No.
But I was
a lot of people are at that age.
I was in this youth group, and there would be like quote unquote story time, I guess, just to like fill time at the beginning of the class type thing.
Like a different story every day?
No, it'd be like people could tell stories about their week.
Oh.
Something that happened, things like that.
Like they would say, Hayley, why don't you tell us about your week?
Or they'd say, does anyone have any interesting stories, or blah, 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 blah.
Like that's like an early precursor to podcasting.
Yes. And there was this one girl who always had a story to tell. And she was really good at telling stories for like 10 minutes. And she did use a lot of, she was very valley girl. I mean, her stories were okay. Like, they'd probably be a lot more interesting if we were in her clique. It was very specific to people that she knew and stuff, because that's kind of what happened. This one day, the teacher of the class was like, okay, you can tell your story, but you only get 10 okay, so's, and likes.
Whoa.
Right? Which is difficult, especially because that's how she told her stories.
Yeah.
Like half of that was, okay, so like, and like, so, and like, okay.
That's awesome.
She's like, I can do this. And the teacher has his hands up ready to count, right? And she goes,
Can I count 'em?
She starts the story and she goes, okay, so like,
bing! He puts up number 1 with his finger.
1, 2, 3.
Bing, bing, bing. Wow. We need that little bell. That you go ding.
Ding.
I have one at my house. When I used to do this show for my
You have one on the computer too.
Oh, I do?
Somewhere. It's called Game Show. That's not the right one.
Darn it! Is it this? Okay, that's close. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, you said like.
But I'm glad it's more culturally appropriate. I have learned not to laugh as much as those people.
Yeah.
As much as those people anymore.
A lot of people use "you know what I'm saying."
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Of course. Like, you need those fillers to just balance your thoughts out. Unless you're really good at talking.
Yeah.
It's not like I went to school to talk or anything. I didn't. I went to school for radio.
So you went to school for radio, and in radio, don't they sit you down? Because I went through this with program directors where they sit you down and they go, okay, here are your crutch words. Try and stay away from crutch words. Because one program director told me, you say, and he air checked. We call it air checking when they go over everything.
Yeah.
And he listened to a bunch of my breaks over several weeks. We met every like Thursday for a couple weeks. Then all of a sudden one day he stopped the tape player, because yes, this was off a cassette, and he goes running around the room. He's all happy, he's dancing, and he says, I found your crutch word, Mike. It's and I said, and? He goes, yeah, you talk and then say and then you talk and talk. You make these huge conjunctivitis conjunction. The 2 sentences. Run-on sentence.
Conjunction, what's your function?
Picking up words and phrases and clauses like he could have run down to the ocean, but the ocean wasn't there. He went down and he talked a lot, but the air check wasn't square.
That's
I don't
good.
know
That's
the
good.
lyrics to that song. I love Schoolhouse Rock.
Me too.
I wish we could just turn some on right now and watch them, don't you?
Yeah.
Right now. You know what one of my favorite Schoolhouse Rock songs was?
What?
Nobody ever talks about it. There's a telegraph line. I got yours, you got mine. It's called the nervous system, and everybody understands those telegraph commands. They call it the nervous system.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, that's a
I don't
cool
know if
one.
I ever saw that one.
And it's got this little Morse code thing
Little
going
Morse
on.
code. Oh, that's so cool.
Do you know what I never realized? The song Wichita Lineman is that one that goes, I am a lineman for the county. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. There's the guitar part does a little Morse code. And then what's that other one? Federal Western Union.
Oh yeah, you never noticed that one was they were doing like a little Morse code thing?
No, that one I know, but
Western Union.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so clever to take a Morse code and make a song out of it. I'm just happy.
Yeah. That's a good song anyway.
Taking off my hat now because I'm very hot.
Yeah, I did that a while ago. Can I rant?
Yes, you were going to rant, and
All
I
right.
got in your way. Now it's time for rant.
This is a public service announcement. If you drive a bus or you write the schedules for buses, keep it together, man.
Yeah.
So I have to take a really early bus. The bus I have to catch is supposed to show up at my stop at 5:04 in the friggin' morning. That's the only bus that comes for like an hour before and like 20 minutes after. And if I take the other bus, it's significantly slower if I take the one afterwards. So it gets me here pretty darn late.
Yeah.
And I need to catch this bus to be on time.
Right.
This bus this morning was not a few minutes early.
Uh-huh.
It was not super late. It was 6 minutes early.
6 minutes?
6 minutes. I try to get there 5 or less, or 5 or more minutes before it's supposed to get there.
Yeah, you're really punctual.
And I was running a little slow this morning. I'm tired, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit sore, and I ride my scooter, so I can't go super fast when I'm sore. Mm-hmm. And I watched this bus drive by.
Oh, that's so
6 minutes early.
That's infuriating.
So if you write the bus schedules, make sure that people follow them. If you're a bus driver, you can be late. I don't care. You can be as late as you want as long as you show up. Don't be early because I'm not gonna be there. I will wait for you if you're late, but I can't wait for you if you're there before me.
How are you? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
So buses be late.
Buses just be on time or be late. And furthermore,
yes,
if you're writing the bus schedules, make sure that what you're giving to the drivers matches what you're giving to the people that ride the buses.
Yeah.
Because I have got into like arguments with bus drivers.
Really?
Because this one time I was walking to the bus stop, and I usually am riding my scooter, but I was walking that time. And this was not the morning bus. This was an afternoon bus. They run every half hour. And this bus, I thought I wasn't going to make it, but then I looked at my clock and I was like, oh, I'm like 3 minutes early.
Yeah.
I'll probably catch this bus.
Yeah.
And I see this bus start to drive by.
What?
I know. And they stop at the stop. And I run, and I'm able to make it because there's a couple other people getting on the bus. So I get on the bus, and I go, wow, you're early. Very sort of, whoa, kind of surprise type thing.
Yeah.
And this bus driver just goes on a tirade about how she's got a specific computer, and she's staying right on time, and she's very punctual, and she is on time. Hey, lady! If you look past me, out the door, at the bus stop, right there, you're gonna see this fancy little timetable that's standing there, sticking there right at the bus, the one that I look at, the one that if I go to your bus company's website and see exactly when that bus is supposed to get there, you are 4 minutes early.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your stupid computer says, it should be matching what I am supposed to be there at.
And you're looking at the time on your phone.
I'm looking at the time on my phone, which
to
is
the satellites
in
and
time.
yeah,
which is on time.
I'm wondering if their bus stupid clocks are all messed up.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, that specific driver always got there early. I had to count on her being there early. Oh. And they switch bus drivers about every 6 months or so. Haven't had the same problem.
Oh, yay!
So that was annoying. And she was just like going off on me, and I was like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. You're early. You're early. Look at my clock on my phone. You're early.
Yeah.
I'm busting my butt. I just made it. And if you miss the bus...
I gotta wait half hour.
God!
I gotta wait half hour for the next one.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Public transportation.
Public transportation. So that's my PSA to bus drivers and people that write bus schedules. Normally you do a pretty good job, and I'm happy you exist, or I wouldn't be able to get around. But come on!
Get it together!
Be honest, at the least.
Here's another weird thing to rant. Well, I'm not gonna really rant about it. It just sucks for my ex-wife, but yeah. For some reason Hayward and because Alameda County, if you want to get anything done, you have to go to like this Hayward courthouse for some reason where we live. They will not change her name. She's still a Matthews. And we've been divorced 2 years now.
Why are they not changing her name?
Officially. She thought that we had hired a lawyer, a mediation lawyer.
Right.
And she was supposed to take care of all that, and she didn't. She will not return phone calls. My ex-wife has called this lawyer several times, and now she's got to spend like another $60 to try and get her name changed.
Right.
They're telling her, oh, you've got to publicize it in the paper. No. She's getting her name changed back to her original. It's not like she's creating a whole new name. This is what she was when she was born, this name.
Yeah.
So why... Oh my God, Hayward is making her take this wild goose chase. It's ridiculous.
That's annoying.
And even though she's my ex, I feel bad for her. Because that's a bunch of BS to put someone through. And I feel kind of responsible because I gave her my last name.
It's your name, yeah.
And till death do us part, she will have my last name. No, I'm just kidding. That just sucks, man. Hey, look at this song. This is the song that Tony Mendez, who we have the show, he is so nuts about this song. Can I just play a little bit of it?
Sure.
But why not? It's a podcast. And he loves that song.
Oh, okay. End of story.
End of story.
Hey, Mike, what's our feature today?
Our feature today is Into an Interview with part 2 of our interview that we did with Craig Marshall. And you were so helpful being on that interview. And look who was walking in. One of the wonderful characters. Oh my God, it's so hard to give shop supervisor. Oh my God, I really enjoyed your rant, Hayley.
Thanks, I needed that.
You're like so smart, and you're like so interesting. I have a retainer.
How long have you had that retainer?
How old are you?
21.
I've had a long time. My teeth just won't get corrected.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'm like, all right, okay. Look who else just walked in. Oh, Mike, it's Floyd the Floor Man. And it's John Deere, the engineer. Hayley, I have a time machine device that you can use to create a slowing down of the bus schedule clock so that they will be there whenever you want them to. Would you like this time machine?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'd love that time machine.
I will get it for you. It's in my handbag. He's going to get that time machine thing for you out of his handbag. That's great. That's a huge handbag.
Yeah.
It's got all kinds of devices in there.
Is that Mary Poppins' handbag?
Why, yes, it is. I stole it from her.
That's pretty cool.
When she wasn't looking. She was like flying away or something, and I grabbed it out of her hands. Mary Poppins was a real person?
Duh.
What?
Duh.
Okay, duh. Here. All right, what else have we got? Listen to this podcast.
Listen to it. Like,
YouTube, SoundCloud,
yeah.
Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud. We're on Tumblr, Facebook. You can comment on the show at those places. Twitter as well.
Tweet.
We read your comments on the section. Emails from email and your comment, not so comments. And
or meet Mike at the dog park.
Yes, apparently that's where I go the Podcaster Valley Dog Park. I saw Katie there yesterday. That's where I saw her, and she commented on how great Hayley is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm at dog parks. Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com is the email. Oh, if you'd like to help us out too, we're on Amazon. Amazon! I'm an Amazonian! And buy something.
You're not. You're male. You can't be an Amazonian.
Oh, that's true. I have to be a female that's tall and a warrior princess.
Yeah.
So, please, if you want to help us out and you're going to buy something on Amazon anyway, just go to the Amazon link at mikesdailypodcast.com. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for any money. Actually, we are, because PayPal, if you want to give us some money through PayPal and become an Inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster.
But if you don't want to pay money, except for like to buy your own things, there's no additional charge.
No charge, no extra charge.
To buy through Amazon, through our site.
You're getting like the same price.
Yeah.
Amazon just throws a little money under the table for us, but we haven't seen any of it yet because we haven't made the quota. But we'll get there someday.
We gotta meet our quota, man.
You know what I hate is when people say you gotta make your nut. If you make your nut, that's so weird.
I've never heard that. And
Nut.
I'm pretty happy that I've never heard that.
I've heard people say nut like it's like a squirrel, like you've gotten enough nuts or something.
Right? No.
All right, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, so all the characters from Cafe Anyway will say hello to you if you send us something through PayPal, and there's that link to that at mikesdailypodcast.com. Finally, there's the blog, the Daily Podcast picture, and all my past interviews there. And let's go into an interview there now with the Craig Marshall, the Austin singer-songwriter.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Into an interview.
I'm speaking with Craig Marshall of the Lucky Strikes, and way back the Delta Rays, huh?
Originally, that was a band that I had in New York, and we moved here in Austin in the early '90s to play country music. So that's kind of led me to the kind of music that I kind of do now, and also Austin. So in the meantime, I did a couple other things for the past 20 years.
And you worked with the Cardigans producer. Didn't you? Not with the Delta Rays, but as a solo artist.
Yeah, starting early 2000s, after the 90s, primarily playing jazz. I started doing my solo projects again, and this guy Lars Goranson, great engineer, producer guy, and he's really worked on a lot of my records throughout the years, mixing a lot of my stuff, and he's one of the industry guys here in Austin. Good friend of mine.
Now you moved into the Austin scene, you said, with the Delta Rays, right?
Yeah.
How has it been to see that scene sort of I guess kind of bloom and evolve, getting into obviously the 21st century and such?
The scene that I'm kind of in now, kind of the Americana thing or the country thing.
Yeah, coming out of Austin.
Yeah, it's changing all the time. I mean, it's huge. There's a lot of great artists. There's some good friends of mine that I work with quite a bit lately here, recording studio stuff, doing demos, playing on each other's records, and sharing gigs. I mean, it's good. It's a pretty healthy scene going right now. I mean, there's definitely a lot of the, I think it's a pretty healthy scene. There's some great clubs. I just played the other night at this club called Strange Brew, and that's become a pretty major listening room, and there's a pretty healthy country scene.
Yeah,
Mike's a fan of country, if you can't tell.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, there always was, but it's kind of it's been growing all the time. East Side kind of indie scene, but there's a country bar called the White Horse that's always packed every night with a bunch of country bands. I don't know. It's gotten.
Is the cover expensive?
The cover to get into places?
Yeah, like if I were, moved to Austin, Would I be broke?
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive to live here. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's hard. It is getting pricey to live here. I mean, that's changed. You know, when I first moved here, early 90s, it was so cheap to live here. You know, I mean, it was, you know, you could do a couple gigs a week for like almost nothing, and you probably come up with rent. And now it's, yeah, you better be playing every night or have some day job or, you know, have some other source of income to cover expenses. I mean, it's definitely, you know, the word is out on Austin. You know, it's like one of the hipster places to move, so it's definitely grown that way.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, an old family friend actually was in a music scene and tried to move to Austin to wing it. I think along the Americana route, tried to join a band, but didn't work out for him because it was you just got to be constantly working.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I do the 2 bands and solo, so between all those things, I mean, I can hopefully play enough, get some private stuff, and get some higher paying gigs, but still, it's tough. I mean, you know, I kind of barely make it, you know, some months, but it's healthy in most every other way.
Yeah,
that's good. You know, it's good to get out and put out records so you get your maybe some income that way, some songwriting stuff or some touring stuff. You know, so that's what I've tried to do.
And
instead of just relying just on gigs.
The After All album that you just came out with, I was going to play the title track from that, and that sounds like that really reminded me of like classic country, and
yeah,
I love the sound of that.
Yeah, thanks. That's more on the classic honky-tonk kind of vibe, yeah. You know, shuffle, it's got the kind of honky-tonk dance hall kind of country thing. But I've always been influenced by that stuff. That's what I love. I like playing that stuff. It's fun, you know, steel guitars and fiddles. And
do you have a fiddle player that you use in Austin when you do these things?
Yeah, I just played the other day with this guy, and he's on the record too, Eddie Dickerson. He's a great fiddle mandolin guy. He moved here